Hadley Duvall, a 21-year-old from Owensboro, said speaking out about her experience of sexual abuse amid the abortion rights debate is a calling for her. That's why Duvall is appearing in an ad for Democratic Gov. Andy Beshear's re-election campaign. After the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in 2022, Duvall began to publicly share her story of sexual abuse she experienced as a child. In the campaign ad, Duvall speaks directly to the camera and criticizes Republican Attorney General Daniel Cameron for his support of a near-total abortion ban in Kentucky. "This is for you, Daniel Cameron," he says. To tell a 12-year-old girl that she has to have the child of her stepfather, who raped her, is unthinkable. Previous reports stated that Duvall's stepfather raped her when she was 12 and she became pregnant but miscarried. Her stepfather confessed to raping her and is in prison. The ad with Duvall is the second Beshear campaign to take Cameron to task on abortion. The first ad, released earlier this month, features the Jefferson County District Attorney saying Cameron believes 9-year-old rape victims should be forced to give birth. In a phone interview with the Kentucky Lantern on Wednesday, Duvall said someone from her hometown asked her if she would share her story with the team that created the campaign ad, which was filmed in July. "It was an easy decision," she said. While she wouldn't have been in a place to share her story as a child, Duvall said she can handle it now, even though it's hard to be vulnerable. "It's not just a statistic that people want to throw out there," Duvall said. "I'm a real person and it's a real story." Cameron, who has emphasized his opposition to abortion in the past, defended Kentucky's abortion ban in court. The law allows abortions only up to 6 weeks of pregnancy and does not include exceptions in cases of rape and incest. Duvall said she first spoke about the abuse as a freshman in high school. When the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, she posted on social media publicly sharing her experience. "Once I found my voice, I never really lost it," she said. "I'm really passionate about helping other survivors and other victims and doing what I can to help people who are going through what I went through." Kentucky's abortion ban was a trigger law, meaning it went into effect after Roe v. Wade was overturned. Duvall said she felt anger that day. Duvall said she became angry when she heard people she knew say they agreed with the court's decision. "It just made me really angry and I kept thinking about the little girl I used to be when I was sitting there staring at a positive pregnancy test at 12 years old, Duvall said. "Because I think once you see that you immediately think, okay, what am I going to do? You start thinking about your options. And right now, if a girl or a woman is going through this, they don't really have any options." Since first speaking publicly about the abuse, Duvall said she has received a lot of support, especially from other victims of sexual abuse. As for the response to the ad over the past week, Duvall said the most meaningful thing has been hearing from women and girls thanking her for helping them find their voices and strength. As for the negative reactions online, Duvall said she tried not to look at them. "What I do is for women and girls, so people who talk negatively about it really don't deserve any of my attention," she said. "But overall, I've just seen a lot of people talking about how important it is to bring this to light." Days before the Duvall ad aired, Cameron said in a radio interview that if elected, he would sign legislation to add rape and incest exemptions to Kentucky's abortion law if the General Assembly approves it. Asked for clarification, a spokesman for his campaign said he still supports the law as it is now, but if the situation in Kentucky were to change and the legislature brought him a bill that would add exemptions for rape and incest, of course, sign it. The Lexington Herald Leader reported Wednesday that Cameron said during a recent campaign stop that he would only add exemptions if the courts force us to change this law. Hadley said she did not see Cameron's change of position as real, given his past support for the current bill and the general election in November just weeks away. After the Duvall ad aired, David Walls, executive director of the conservative public policy organization The Family Foundation, told Lex 18 in an interview about the ad that the organization believes the value of a human being is never determined by how a child is, as tragic as it can be. When asked for an interview, Duvall said victims still deserve a choice. "How can anyone tell a child what they're capable of doing if they're not the one standing in their shoes?" she said. "So I think it's your choice, because the trauma of rape and sexual abuse itself, that's a lifelong trauma in itself." Duvall said she doesn't believe abortion is a make-or-break issue for most Kentucky voters, but is more important than it has been in the past because of the trigger law. Now, Duvall is studying psychology, plans to attend graduate school and wants a career in working with victims of trauma. If the law is never changed, Hadley said there will continue to be anger in the community. "I still think about all the little girls who aren't talking, who are hiding it, and if the law doesn't change, then they don't have a choice," Duvall said. "And that in itself is a nightmare." Write a YouTube screenplay with a single narrator including all details and information.